New York City, 2022. The ancestral lands of the Lenape people. A pandemic rages. Enter Margaret, 1471, Tewkesbury, England. A battle rages.
Enter King Edward IV. Where is thy husband now? Where be thy friends? Where is thy son Edward? Oh, wherein dost thou joy? Who sues to thee and cries, God save the Queen? Where be the bending peers that flattered thee? Where be the thronging troops that followed thee? Decline all this and see what now thou art.
One heaved a high to be hurled down below, to be the aim of every dangerous shot.
A queen in jest, only to fill the scene.
No. Stop. Go back. Go on. France. My home. 1445. Another battle rages. I am 14 years old.
Enter the English Earl of Suffolk.
No. Stop. Further back. Before these English men. I am still 14, which is past the age most women of my rank are married. Rank, but no dowry. And the 100 years of war between England and France, into which I am born and raised, means that treaties are being negotiated, not my marriage. I know this. I am from a lineage of learned, fierce women who were actively involved in the political and military events of their time. My mother, Isabella, served as regent and led an army to successfully rescue my father. My granddam single-handedly ruled Anjou and fought off English invasions. I was raised on this land by warriors, politicians, and scholars. And now, look on thy country, look on fertile France, and see the cities and the towns defaced with wasting ruin of the cruel foe. See the pining malady of France. Behold the wounds, the most unnatural wounds, which England hath given her woeful breast. Oh, turn thy edged sword another way. Strike those that hurt, and hurt not those that help. Return thee, therefore, with a flood of tears, and wash away thy country's stained spots.
Be what thou wilt, thou art my prisoner. Oh. Who art thou? Say that I may honor thee.
Je m'appelle Margaret. Je suis la
En
fille
anglais,
d'Angleterre.
s'il vous plaît.
Mais bien sûr. Margaret, my name, and daughter to a king. This is his castle. Whosoe'er thou art.
An earl I am, and Suffolk am I called? Henry's favorite, William de la Pole? Be not offended, nature's miracle. Thou art allotted to be ta'en by moi. Yet, if this servile usage once offend, go and be free again as Suffolk's friend. Oh, stay! I have no power to let her pass. My hand would free her, yet my heart says no. Fain would I woo her, yet I dare not speak.
Say, Earl of Suffolk, if thy name be so, what ransom must I pay before I pass? For I perceive I am thy prisoner. Why speakst thou not? What ransom must I pay?
She's beautiful, therefore to be wooed. She is a woman, therefore to be won. Fond man, remember that thou hast a wife.
Wilt thou accept of ransom, yea or no?
Yet a dispensation may be had.
He talks at random, sure the man is mad.
Win this Princess Margaret, for whom? Why, for my king. Tush, that's a wooden thing.
He talks of wood. It is of carpenter.
Yet so my fancy may be satisfied, and peace established between these realms. Yet there remains a scruple in that too. For though her father be a king, yet is he poor, and our nobility will scorn the match. It shall be so. Disdain they ne'er so much. Madam, I have a secret to reveal.
Perhaps I shall be rescued by the French.
Lady, vouchsafe to listen what I say.
And then I need not crave his courtesy.
Sweet madam, give me a hearing and a cause.
Tush, women hath been captivate ere now.
Lady, wherefore talk you so?
I cry you mercy. 'Tis but quid for quo.
Say, Princess Margaret, would you not suppose your bondage happy to be made a queen?
To be a queen in bondage is more vile than is a slave in base servility. For princes should be free.
And so shall you, if happy England's royal king be free.
Why, what concerns his freedom unto me?
I'll undertake to make thee Henry's queen, to put a golden scepter in thy hand, to set a precious crown upon thy head, if thou wilt condescend to be my...
What?
His queen, Henry's wife.
I am unworthy to be Henry's wife.
No, worthy Margaret, I unworthy am, to woo so fit a dame to be his wife, and have no portion in the choice myself. How say you, madam, are ye so content?
And if my father please, I am content.
Go, crave a parley, I'll confer with him. And yet I could be well content to be mine own attorney in this case.
Qui êtes-vous? Qu'est-ce que tu veux?
En anglais, Renee.
Mais bien sûr. Well?
See, Renee, see thy daughter prisoner.
To whom?
To me. Suffolk. Henry's favorite, William de la Pole.
What remedy? I am a soldier and unapt to weep, or to exclaim on fortune's fickleness.
Yes, Renee, there is remedy enough. Consent, and for thine honor give consent. Thy daughter shall be wedded to my king. Thy daughter, Margaret, does excel all other in beauty and in favor, in wit and policy. Her valiant courage and undaunted spirit are more like to a man than to a woman. What answer makes your grace unto my suit?
Since thou dost deign to woo her little worth, to be the princely bride of such a lord, upon condition I may quietly enjoy mine own, the counties Maine and Anjou, free from oppression or the stroke of war, my daughter shall be Henri's, if he please.
That is her ransom? I deliver her. And those two counties I'll undertake, your grace shall well and quietly enjoy.
And I in Henri's royal name give thee her hand, for sign of plighted faith.
Farewell, Renee. Set your diamond safe in golden palaces as it becomes. I'll over then to England with this news, and make this marriage to be solemnized.
Farewell, my lord. Good wishes, praise, and prayers shall Suffolk ever have of Margaret.
Farewell, Margaret. But hark you, madam, no princely commendation to my king.
Such commendations as becomes a maid, a virgin, and his servant say to him.
Words sweetly placed and modestly directed, but, madam, I must trouble you again. No loving token to his majesty?
Yes, my good lord, a pure, unspotted heart, never yet taint with love, I send the king.
And this withal?
That for thyself. I will not so presume to send such peevish tokens to a king.
Oh, wert thou for myself?
Nay, Suffolk. Stay.
Bethink thee on her virtues that surmount and natural graces that extinguish art. All hail me! I call my court to order. My uncle, the Duke of Gloucester, our Lord Protector. Oh, his wife, my aunt, Dame Eleanor. Richard, the Duke of York. William de la Pole, the Earl of Suffolk, and my favorite. Suffolk, proceed. King Henry, the sixth of that great name, as by your high imperial majesty I had in charge at my depart for France, as procurator to your grace, I have performed my task, and humbly now, upon my bended knee, in sight of England and her lordly peers, deliver up my title in the Queen to your most gracious hand, the happiest gift that ever Marquess gave, the finest queen that ever king received. Suffolk, arise. Welcome, Queen Margaret! I can express no kinder sign of love than this kind kiss.
Great King of England,
Ouch.
and my gracious
Ouch!
lord...
Uncle of Gloucester, how now? You know, Henry, your highness is already betrothed unto another lady of esteem. A man of great authority in France proffers his only daughter to your grace in marriage with a large and sumptuous dowry, to have a goodly peace concluded of between the realms of England and of France. He doth intend she shall be England's queen. How shall we then dispense with that contract and not deface your honor with reproach? Her father is no better than an earl.
Nay, Lord Protector, my father is a king. The King of Naples, Sicily, and Jerusalem, and of such great authority in France as his alliance will confirm our peace and keep the Frenchmen in allegiance.
Henry. Her sight did ravish, but her grace in speech, her words eclad with wisdom's majesty, makes me from wondering fall to weeping joy, such is the fullness of my heart's content. Lords, with one cheerful voice, welcome, my love. Long live Queen Margaret, England's happiness.
We thank you all.
England's happiness.
Uncle of Gloucester, how now?
Some sudden qualm hath struck me at the heart, and it pertains to your marriage contract.
I pray you, read on.
Item, it is further agreed between them that the duchies of Anjou and Maine shall be released and delivered over to the king, her father, and she brought over at the King of England's own proper cost and charges without having any dowry. They please us well. Lord Suffolk, kneel down. We here create thee the first Duke of Suffolk. Arise! Come, let us in, and with all speed provide to see her coronation be performed. Kyrie eleison. Kyrie was crowned, I was but 9 months old. Kyrie eleison. Oh, ambitious, silly woman, foreign queen, oh, blood-besotted Neapolitan, outcast of Naples, England's bloody scourge. That may be Henry's heir, but not England's. I, Richard, Duke of York, am rightful heir. Henry claims the crown from John of Gaunt, the fourth son. I do claim it from the third. I should be king.
Edward? Edward? Edward?
I, Dame Eleanor, wife to the Lord Protector, a Duchess of England, and right royal, must call Margaret her Majesty. I am but grace, but by the grace of fortune and good complots, Dame Eleanor's grace and titles shall be multiplied. Were I a man, a duke, and next of blood, I would remove these tedious stumbling blocks and smooth my way upon their headless necks. Oh, 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 oh.
Great King of England, say, is this the guise? Is this the fashion in the court of England? Is this the government of Britain's Isle? Am I a queen in title only? A queen in jest only to fill the scene? Must I be made a subject to Gloucester?
Oh, man.
And besides the haughty protector, foreign queen, have we grumbling York? I should be king. Not all these lords do vex me half so much as that proud dame, the Lord Protector's wife, your aunt, Dame Eleanor, Nell. More like an empress than Gloucester's wife. Strangers in court do take her for the queen. She scorns my lineage, and in her heart she'd have my head and make herself the queen. Contemptuous, base-born callet as she is. Ha! Henry.
Your Majesty?
Sir William de la Pole, you forget yourself. Suffolk. When thou didst court me in Anjou, and stolest away the ladies' hearts of France, I thought King Henry had resembled thee in courage, courtship, and proportion. But all his mind is bent to holiness, to number Ave Maris on his beads. His champions are the prophets and apostles, his weapons, holy saws of sacred writ. His study is his tilt yard, and his loves are brazen images of canonized saints. He has no interest in England or in me. I would the College of the Cardinals would choose him Pope and carry him to Rome. That were a state fit for his holiness. I tell thee, Duke, I am no mere consort. My mother led an army to rescue my father. The emperor recognized her right to rule. My tutor was a scholar and a jousting champion. So shall my role be merely intercession?
Madam, have patience.
Patience! For years have I sat in a nest of scorpions, yet you beg patience!
As I was cause your highness came to England, so will I, in England, work your grace's full content.
To be a queen in bondage is more vile
than is a slave in base servility. Madam, myself and Buckingham have an eye on Dame Eleanor, so let her rest, and madam, list to me, for I am bold to counsel you in this. Though we fancy not the Duke of York, yet must we join with him.
York is not to be trusted.
Yet must we join with him, till we have brought to light the Duke of Gloucester's vile crimes. Then, one by one, we'll weed them all at last, and you yourself shall steer the happy helm. Where is our uncle of Gloucester, the Lord Protector? For my part, noble lords, I care not which. My lords of York and Suffolk, my favorite, stand you both a while aloof. Ah, here is our Uncle Gloucester. You are the Lord Protector. Do as you see fit.
What is the matter, husband, may I know?
Madam, the king is old enough himself to give his censure. These are no women's matters.
Que savez-vous des affaires de femmes? If he be old enough, what needs your grace to be protector of his excellence?
Madam, I am protector of the realm, and at his pleasure will happily resign my place.
Resign it then, and leave thine insolence. I see no reason why a king of years should need to be protected like a child. God and King Henry govern England's realm. Give up your staff, sir, and the king his realm. King Henry will himself be Lord Protector. And what's more, here's tidings from our cousin, Buckingham.
What tidings from our dear cousin Buckingham? A band of conspirators lewdly bent under the countenance and confederacy of Dame Eleanor, the Lord Protector's wife, the head and ringleader of all this rout, have practiced dangerously against your state, demanding of King Henry's life and death, and others of your highness privy council, as more at large your grace shall understand.
Gloucester, see here the tainture of thy nest, and look thyself where faultless thou wert best.
Stand forth, Dame Eleanor, Gloucester's wife. In sight of God and us, your guilt is great. Receive the sentence of the law for sins such as by God's book are adjudged to death. But, madam, for you are more nobly born, shall after 3 days open penance done, live here in your country in banishment. Welcome is banishment. Welcome were my death. Now, my eyes are full of tears, my heart of grief. I beseech your majesty, give me leave to go.
Nay, Gloucester, I do arrest you of high treason here.
Well, who can arrest me? Wherein am I guilty?
'Tis known, my lord, that you took bribes of France.
I did not.
And as Lord Protector stayed the soldiers' pay, by means whereof his highness hath lost France. And mightier crimes are laid unto your charge, whereof you cannot easily purge yourself. I do arrest you in his highness' name.
Well, Henry, my lord of Gloucester, 'tis my special hope you will free yourself from all suspect. Oh, my conscience tells me you are innocent.
Lord, take away the Duke, and guard him sure. Great King of England, and my gracious Lord, the mutual conference that my mind hath made by day, by night, waking and in my dreams, with you, mine older lief sovereign, makes me the bolder to salute my king. Why now is Henry king, and Margaret queen.
My lords, what to your wisdom seemeth best, do or undo, as if ourself were here.
What will your highness leave the parliament?
Aye, Margaret. My heart is drowned with grief, whose flood begins to flow within mine eyes. My body rounding girt with misery, for what's more miserable than discontent? Gloucester, in thy face I see the map of honor, truth, and loyalty. And yet, good Gloucester, is the hour to come. There I feared thy faith, or prove thee false. His fortunes I will weep, and twixt each groan say, woe is me for Gloucester, wretched man!
Be woe for me, more wretched than he is. Is all thy comfort shut in Gloucester's case?
Oh, Gloucester!
Why then, Dame Margaret, was ne'er your joy? Was I for this, nigh wrecked upon the sea, and twice by awkward wind from England's bank drove back again unto my native clime? What boded this but well forewarning wind? It seemed to say, seek not a scorpion's nest, nor set no footing on this unkind shore. When from thy shore the tempest beat us back, I stood upon the hatches in the storm. I took a costly jewel from my neck. Hard it was, bound in with diamonds, and threw it towards thy land. The sea received it, and so I wished his body might my heart. I can no more. Die, Margaret, for Henry weeps that thou dost live so long. My lord of Suffolk, York, join you with me. Henry, my lord, is cold in great affairs, too full of foolish pity, and Gloucester's show beguiles him as the mournful crocodile.
Indeed, the common people favor him, calling him the good Duke of Gloucester, clapping their hands, and with loud voice crying, may God preserve the good Duke of Gloucester.
I fear me, lords, for all this flattering gloss, he will be found a dangerous prisoner. Consider, lords, he is the next of blood, and heir apparent to the English crown.
'Tis known to you he is mine enemy, nay, more, an enemy unto us all, and no great friend, I fear me, to the king.
Then quickly hoys this Gloucester from his life. Believe me, lords, were none more wise than I, and yet herein I judge mine own wit good. This Gloucester should be quickly rid the world, to free us from the threat to Henry's life.
Here is my hand. The deed is worthy doing.
And so say I.
And now we three agree. What plain proceeding can be more plain than this? The Queen and Suffolk want the Duke of Gloucester dead, so they can rule the king and the realm. But I am rightful heir to the English crown. I, Richard, Duke of York, should be king. But I will not be king till I be crowned, and that my sword be stained with the hot blood of Lancaster. And that's not suddenly to be performed, but with advice and silent secrecy. Do you as I do in these dangerous days, wink at the Duke of Suffolk's insolence, at Queen Margaret and all the crew of them, till they have snared the shepherd of the flock, Henry's uncle, the Duke of Gloucester. 'Tis that they seek, and they, in seeking that, shall find their deaths, if York can prophesy. Long live King Richard, England's happiness.
Go, Suffolk. Call our uncle to our presence straight. Say we intend to try his grace today.
Oh, if he be guilty as 'tis published. My lords, take your places, and I pray you all, proceed no straighter against our uncle Gloucester than from true evidence of good esteem he be approved in practice culpable.
God forbid any malice should prevail, that faultless may condemn a nobleman. Pray God he may acquit him of suspicion.
Oh, I thank thee, Meg. These words content me much.
How now, Suffolk? What is the matter? Why tremblest thou? Why look'st thou pale? Where is our uncle?
Dead. In his bed. Gloucester is dead.
Mary, God forfend. How fares my noble lord? Oh, Henry, ope thine eyes.
Comfort, my sovereign, gracious Henry, comfort. What? Doth my lord of Suffolk comfort me? Came he right now to sing a raven's note whose dismal tune bereft my vital powers? And thinks he that the chirping of a wren by prime comfort can chase away the first conceived sound? Oh, hide not thy poison with such sugared words. Gloucester's dead, dead in his bed. Oh, thou baleful messenger, out of my sight, thou dost infect mine eyes, yet do not go away. Turn, basilisk, and kill the innocent gazer with thy sight.
Why dost thou rate my lord of Suffolk thus? Although the Duke was enemy to him, yet he most Christian-like laments his death. And for myself, foe as he was to me, might liquid tears or heart-offending groans recall his life, I would be blind with weeping, sick with groans, and all to have the noble Duke alive. What noise is this? How now, York?
It is reported, mighty sovereign, that the Duke of Gloucester has been murdered.
That he is dead. Good York, it is too true, but how he died, God knows, not Henry.
Dread lord, the commons send you word by me that the Duke of Gloucester has been murdered by Suffolk.
Traitor, you monstrous traitor.
Madam, be still. With reverence, may I say, for every word you speak in his behalf is slander to your royal dignity.
Thou slanderous Duke of York, say, if thou darest, that Suffolk is faulty in Gloucester's death.
Dread lord, the commons send you word by me, unless Lord Suffolk straight be done to death, or banished fair England's territories, they will by violence tear him from your palace, and torture him with grievous lingering death. They say by him the Duke of Gloucester died. They say in him they fear your highness' death. I thank them for their tender loving care. For sure my thoughts do hourly prophesy mischance unto my state by Suffolk's means. Therefore by his majesty I swear he shall not breathe infection in this air but 3 days longer on pain of death.
Oh, Henry, let me plead for gentle Suffolk.
Ungentle queen, to call him gentle Suffolk.
Your favorite.
No more, I say. If thou dost plead for him, thou wilt but add increase unto my wrath.
Henry.
Had I but said, I would have kept my word, but when I swear, it is irrevocable. If, after 3 days' space, thou here be'st found, on any ground that I am ruler of, the world shall not be ransom for thy life. I thank thee, York. Good York, come, go with me. I have great matters to impart to thee.
Mischance sorrow go along with you. Heart's discontent and sour affliction be playfellows to keep you company.
Cease, gentle queen, these execrations, and let thy Suffolk take his heavy leave.
Fie, coward and soft-hearted wretch, hast thou not spirit to curse thine enemy?
A plague upon them. Wherefore should I curse them? Would curses kill, as doth the mandrake's groan? I would invent as bitter searching terms, as cursed, as harsh and horrible to hear, as lean-faced envy in her loathsome cave. And even now my burdened heart should break, should I not curse them. Poison be their drink, gall, worse than gall, all the foul terrors of dark-seated hell.
Enough! Suffolk, thou torments thyself.
You bade me ban, and will you bid me leave?
I will repeal thee, or be well assured adventure to be banished myself. And banished I am, if but from thee. Now get thee gone, that I may know my grief. Go! Speak not to me, even now be gone! Oh, go not yet. Even thus, two friends condemned, embrace. Now get thee hence. The king thou knowest is coming. If thou be found by me, thou art but dead.
If I depart from thee, I cannot live. Oh, let me stay. Befall what may befall.
Away. Though parting be a fretful corrosive, it is applied to a deathful wound. To France, sweet Suffolk, and let me hear from thee. For wheresoe'er thou art in this world's globe, I'll have an iris that shall find thee out.
I go.
And take my heart with thee.
A jewel locked into the woefulest cask that ever did contain a thing of worth. Even as the splitted bark, so sunder we. This way fall I to death.
This way for me. crowns, or else lay down your head.
Oh, York, thou villainous, traitorous York!
Ha! Shh! There may your head and lifeless body lie, until that false French queen bury it. Oft have I heard that grief softens the mind and makes it fearful and degenerate. Think therefore on revenge and cease to weep. But who can cease to weep and look on this?
Meg?
Henry.
Still lamenting and mourning for Suffolk's death? I fear me, love, that if I had been dead, thou wouldst not have mourned so much for me.
No, my love, I should not mourn, but die for thee.
Why, now is Henry king, and Margaret queen. The bloody Parliament shall this be called, unless that I, Richard Duke of York, be king. I mean to take possession of my right. My lords, look, where York the sturdy rebel sits. E'en in the chair of state, belike he means to aspire unto the crown and reign as king. What, shall we suffer this? Let's pluck him down. He durst not sit there had my grandfather and my grandsire lived. We should assail the Duke of York. Far be the thought of violence from Henry's heart. To make a shambles of the Parliament House? No, 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 no. Frowns, words, and threats shall be the war that Henry means to use. Thou factious Duke of York, descend my throne and kneel for grace and mercy at my feet. I am thy sovereign.
I am thine.
Think'st thou I will leave my kingly throne wherein my father and my grandsire sat? No, first shall war unpeople this my realm. My title's good, and better far than yours.
Prove it, Henry, and thou shalt be king.
I know not what to say, my title's weak.
What mutter you? Or what conspire you? Lords, do right unto this princely Duke of York, or I will fill the house with armed men. And over the chair of state where now I sit, write up your title in usurping blood. Henry of Lancaster, resign thy crown.
Hear me but one word. Let me for this my lifetime reign as king.
Confirm the crown to me and to mine heirs, and thou shalt reign in quiet while thou livest.
I am content. Richard Plantagenet, enjoy the kingdom after my decease. Conditionally, then thou here take an oath to cease this civil war, and whilst I live, to honor me as thy king and sovereign, and neither by treason nor hostility to seek to put me down and reign yourself.
This oath I willingly take, and will perform.
Oh.
Why should you sigh, my lord?
Not for myself, Richard, but for my son, whom I shall unnaturally disinherit. But be that as it may, I do here entail the crown to thee and to thine heirs forever.
Now York and Lancaster are reconciled. Farewell, Henry. I'll to my castle to tell my forward sons of this good news.
And I with grief and sorrow unto the queen. Oh, here she comes. I'll steal away.
Nay, go not from me. I will follow thee.
Be patient, gentle queen, and I will stay.
Who can be patient in such extremes? Oh, wretched man. Would I had died a maid and never seen thee, never borne thee son, seeing thou hast proved so unnatural a father. Hath he deserved to lose his birthright thus? Henry, you cannot disinherit him. If you be king, why should he not succeed?
Pardon me, Margaret, the Duke of York enforced me.
Enforced thee? Art thou king and will be forced? A shame to hear thee speak. Timorous wretch, thou hast undone thyself, thy son, and me, and given unto the house of York such head as thou shalt reign but by their sufferance. The Duke of York is made protector of the realm, and yet shalt thou be safe. Such safety finds the trembling lamb environed with wolves. Had I been there, which am a silly woman, the soldiers would have tossed me on their pikes before I would have granted to that act. But thou preferrest thy life before thine honor. And seeing thou dost, I here divorce myself, Henry, both from thy table and thy bed, until that act of parliament be repealed. The northern lords, which have forsworn thy colors, will follow mine, if once they see them spread. And spread they shall be to thy foul disgrace and utter ruin of the house of York. Thus do I leave thee.
Stay, gentle queen, and hear me speak.
Thou hast spoke too much already. Get thee gone.
What? Our gentle son Edward, he will stay with me.
I, to be murdered by his enemies.
When I return with victory from the field, he'll see your grace. Till then, he'll stay with me. We must away. I may not linger thus.
Meg! Meg? The army of the Queen have got the field, and the fatal follower doth pursue. But I am hurt and cannot fly her fury.
Yield to our mercy, Richard, Duke of York. What? Was you that would be king? Was you that revelled in our parliament and made a preachment of your high descent? Where are your mess of sons to back you now? The wanton Edward and the lusty George.
And where's that valiant crookback prodigy, Dickie,
Your boy,
that with his grumbling voice was wont to cheer his dad in mutinies? Or with the rest? Where is your darling, Rutland?
look, York, this neck scarf is stained with the blood made issue from the bosom of your boy. Yond Clifford, whose dear father you did slay, did he in turn slay thy youngest Rutland. And if thine eyes can water for his death, I give thee this, to dry thy cheeks withal. Alas, poor York, but that I hate thee deadly, I should lament thy miserable state. I prithee, grieve to make me merry, York. What? Hath thy fiery heart so parched thine entrails that not a tear can fall for Rutland's death? Why art thou patient, man? Thou shouldst be mad, and I to make thee mad do mock thee thus. Ha! Stab, fret, rave, that I may sing and dance. York cannot speak unless he wear a crown. A crown for York, and lords bow low to him. I, Mary, sir, now looks he like a king. Aye, this is he that took King Henry's chair, and this is he was his adopted heir. But how is it that great Plantagenet is crowned so soon, and broke his solemn oath? As I bethink me, you should not be king, till our King Henry had shook hands with death. 'Tis a fault too unpardonable. Off with the crown, and with the crown his head, and whilst we breathe, take time to do him dead. Yet stay, let's hear the orisons he makes.
She wolf of France, but worse than wolves of France, a tiger's heart wrapped in a woman's hide. How couldst thou drain the lifeblood of the boy, to bid the father wipe his tears withal, and yet be seen to bear a woman's face? Women are soft, mild, pitiful, and flexible. Thou, stern, obdurate, flinty, rough, remorseless, bidst thou me rage? Ah! Why now thou hast thy wish, wouldst have me weep. Why now thou hast thy will. These tears are my sweet Rutland's obsequies, and every drop cries vengeance for his death against thee, false French queen. Keep thou the neck scarf and go boast of this. There, take the crown, and with the crown my curse, that in thy need such comfort come to thee as now I find at thy too cruel hand.
So cowards fight, but they can fly no further. Off with his head! Set it on York gates, so York may overlook the town of York!
Yay!
Welcome, my lord, to this brave town of York. Yonder is the head of that arch enemy that sought to be encompassed with your crown. Doth not the object cheer your heart, my lord?
I, as them that cheer the rocks that fear their wreck, to see this sight, it irks my very soul. Withhold revenge, dear God, 'tis not my fault, nor wittingly have I infringed my vow.
My gracious liege, this too much lenity and harmful pity must be laid aside. Ambitious York didst level at thy crown. Were it not pity that our goodly son should lose his birthright by his father's fault, and long hereafter say unto his child, what my great-grandfather and his grandsire got, my careless father fondly gave away? What a shame were this. Think on our boy, and let his manly face, which promised a successful fortune, steel thy melting heart to hold thine own, and leave thine own with him.
I'll leave my son my virtuous deeds behind, and would my father had left me no more. Ah, cousin York, I would thy best friends did know how it doth grieve me that thy head is here.
My lord, cheer up your spirit. Our foes are nigh, and this soft courage makes your followers faint. Be in readiness, for with a band of 30,000 men comes ambitious Edward, son of York. And in the towns as they do march along, proclaim him king, and many do fly to him, to reign your battle, for they are at hand.
In the name of the...
I would your highness would depart the field. Your queen hath best success when you are absent. Therefore leave us to our fortune.
Why, that's my fortune too, therefore I'll stay.
Away, for vengeance comes along with them.
Where is thy husband now? Where be thy friends? Where is thy son, Edward? Oh, wherein dost thou joy? Who sues to thee and cries, God save the Queen? Where be the bending peers that flattered thee? Where be the thronging troops that followed thee? Decline all this and see what now thou art.
One heaved high to be hurled down below, to be the aim of every dangerous shot.
A queen in jest, only to fill the scene. Henry is dead, and thy proud son too. Oh.
All the sorrow that I have by right is yours, and all the pleasures you usurp are mine. Thou didst usurp my place, and dost thou not usurp the just proportion of my sorrow? Kill me here.
I will not do thee so much ease.
I was 14 when I was captured, 15 when wedded to Henry. When it took 8 years to produce an heir, I was blamed, not Henry. Though he had no knowledge of, nor interest in women, nor will in anything save the church. I led the Lancastrian court by example, in England, in exile, and when necessary, in arms. I battled the nest of scorpions for 37 years. And now, so many miseries have crazed my voice that my woe-weary tongue is mute and dumb. Oh, but remember this another day, when tyrants split thy very heart with sorrow, and say, poor Margaret was a prophetess. Now thy proud necks bear half my burden yoke, from which even here I slip my weary neck and leave the burden of it all on thee. Exit. Margaret.